Sharing my screen. Let me know once you're able to see it. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I have uploaded day 5 video. You can check it out in the section. So today we are going to talk about multi-board architecture. So anyone have any idea about multi-board architecture? What exactly it is? Okay. So do you know that our machine will be a robot when we are running? So if I'm running this robot or if I start a process in my machine, then this machine will be a robot. In the same way, if the bot is running or if the process is running in your machine, then your machine will be one of the robot. Okay. Uh, is it clear or do you have any doubts in this one as well? Come on, you need to
Yeah,
speak up.
it is clear. Yeah, it's clear.
Cool. So let's understand a process. So draw and okay, so there can be, let's take an example of calculator process. And calculator process, all we need to have is we need to have the inputs and the output. So there should be an input where we need to have information, and there should be an output. But let's assume that there are 1 lakh records. Okay, we have 1 records. So each record is taking 1 minute to process. So how much time will it take to process 1 lakh records? It's 1 lakh minutes, right? So this is an assumption. Okay. Now, uh, if we have 1 lakh records, it will take 1 lakh minutes. But business asked you to make it faster. So what are the other steps that you can do? Or what are
We
the
need
other
to
activities that you can do?
parallelly process records simultaneously.
Okay. So you mean to
We
say
need
that we can run same process in multiple machines.
yeah,
So,
multiple machines or same machine, multiple bots.
so one machine.
Sorry?
So if we have a machine can have multiple users,
Okay, okay.
but one
We
user
need to
is
we need to
equal to
increase the multiple
one
threads.
robot. Just understand this: multiple users equal to multiple. One user will be equal to one robot or one user ID equal to one robot. So normally when you see, you can create multiple users in your machines, right?
Okay.
So one user is one robot. If the bot
Okay,
is
we can't
executing,
have multi robots for one user, right?
no, we cannot have it.
Okay.
Okay, understand this process. Now, when we are adding multiple robots, it means that we are adding multiple users. Just understand that if there is if there is a work, and if I am working on a machine, so I will consume resources. But if a different person is working on a different machine, then we both will work on the same process, and we will complete it faster, right? So
Yeah.
So this concept or okay, now I have a question. Like okay, if there are 20 items in this, so I have 20 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on till 20. How can I understand? Okay, that there is this robot and this is one more robot. Now, how can I understand what? robot 1 is working and what robot 2 is working. How can they both communicate with each other? For example, if this one is taken by robot 2, should that same be processed by robot 1? Is it correct?
It should actually skip that transaction and go to the next one.
So ideally this should go into 2. Okay. Now when we are executing this 2, second robot should not execute 2 again. It should go for next item 3. So 1 is already completed by this item. In meanwhile, second item is being processed by robot 1, and this second robot, now we have 3 as the new item for the second robot. Understood? So if we have one more robot with robot 3, this will take a new item, but this will not take any item that's already completed or it's being in execution. In the same way, we have performer bots. So properties of performer bots is to take an item from orchestrator or any centralized repository and complete work. So these are called performer bots. So do you know what is a dispatcher bot?
Question, a small doubt.
Yeah,
What is the centralized repository will be here? It is not that, just right. That's right.
centralized repository can be orchestrator queue. From where we can have information.
Okay.
Now what is a dispatcher bot?
Dispatcher is something that takes the transaction from the file or the data table and puts it into the orchestrator one after the other.
So can we say that this assigns or this places a work for others to process? It's like a manager who gives work to
Yeah,
others to work. Can we say
correct.
something like that?
Yes.
Okay. So what this dispatcher bot will do, this dispatcher bot activity is to read information and add items to process. So where is it adding? It's adding it to queue. So what dispatcher bot will do? It will add items to queue. What performer bot will do?
It will take items from the queue.
Exactly. So is it clear till now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shiva, Swapna?
Yeah. So what we have done yesterday will be coming under dispatcher bot, right?
Exactly. So yesterday whatever we have done comes under dispatcher. Today whatever we are doing will come under performer. Got it? Okay. Now what are prerequisites for performer?
One second, sorry, I didn't understand how we did yesterday. How was that a performer? We uploaded files and we pulled
That's a
the files,
dispatcher.
right?
That's a dispatcher.
Uploaded when we upload files as a dispatcher and when we request for pull.
Okay, so you're talking about GitHub, not GitHub. So Sudhira yesterday read some Excel file and added all the items one by one into orchestrator queue.
Oh yeah, we put it inside the queue. Correct.
So
Yeah,
that process is
right.
called dispatcher process.
Right. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now prerequisites for the performer are, can we work? Okay, let's assume that your manager didn't give you any work. Can you work or anything because you don't have any information?
No, we can't.
So one of the prerequisites is queue should have items
Hmm.
to process.
Sadhu.
Okay. Second thing, performer must have all resources for execution. So if we have these major things, then can we execute the bot?
Yes.
Good. So what we will do today, we will create a performer bot. Okay. So Swapna, were you able to connect your machine to orchestrator? Were you not able to connect?
Yes.
Okay. What is the
I'm not
issue?
able.
What is the issue that you are getting?
I'm new to this, so I don't know exactly how to connect.
Okay. So yesterday we connected and we worked, right? Like logged in to orchestrator using
Ah,
UiPath Studio.
yes, I have logged into Orchestrator. Then after that,
Hmm. You didn't had a green symbol that says connected.
no,
Can,
after that I'm not getting actually.
can you please share? Okay. Did you install your Teams in your machine, or are you connecting
Yes.
from?
No, no, I have installed Teams in my
Okay. Can you
machine.
please share your screen? Okay. Let me take the access.
This is the studio, and can I open Orchestrator?
Yeah, please open. It should be cloud.uipath.com. Just remember the names at least. Cloud.uipath.com. Give me the access. Let me take it. Control. Let me take the control, please.
Okay.
So we have, is it
Continue.
Microsoft? Is it Microsoft? Okay, let's go back. So is it not Microsoft account?
I have used Gmail only.
Okay, can we continue with Google then?
Yes. Mm.
Which one?
Second one.
Okay. Sir, can you add your email ID in the chat, please?
This is the one.
Whatever you have used to connect to Orchestrator, give that. Okay. Now what we will do, we will give access to Sudhira, this particular tenant, whatever tenant you have as a default tenant, we'll give access to Sudhira.
Okay.
Okay. Orchestrator. Click start. Next. So remember one thing, anything that you have shared will be, or any project that you want to come share it with others, it should be inside shared folder. If it is in my workspace, you cannot share it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to home. and admin.
I don't see a shared folder in mine.
Yeah, other than your personal folder, other folders can be shared folders.
So I have my workspace default and process packages is
Yeah,
what that modern folder that I've
yeah.
created.
Process packages can be used to share.
Okay. So should I have to change a setting or something in that or?
No need. So
Okay.
right now what we'll do, we'll give access and let's invite users and let's invite automation users, automation administrators and automation developers. And Sudhir, can you please add your email ID in the chat?
Yeah, sure.
How did you go to this accounts and do admin?
Okay, let's give access. Okay. Can you just copy and paste from the chat? I'm not able to see.
Yeah, sure. So, Vira, can you ping me here? Or-
In the
Yeah.
chat, you have that in the chat, right?
Yes.
Okay, you don't have it in the chat.
Not that ID.
So that's what you just
Yeah.
need
This
to.
this is the one. Yeah, yeah, that is the
So is it correct? Sudhira at the rate, I guess, not dot PowerS Enterprise. Sudhira at the rate
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
PowerSenterprise.com.
Sudhira dot D. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Just
Sudhira
replace, yeah, keep at the rate.
dot dot D at
Dot D at the rate.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah perfect.
Click on OK. Yeah, click on save.
Save it.
Okay. It will be there. I think my. It's loading. So we are allocating the licenses. If you are seeing, we are allocating the licenses. So allocate license. So we will attend, we'll give automation. So there are two automation developer licenses and two named user license. So she can take whatever she want, but for now, let's give out both the licenses. Okay, and here, and Sudhira, you will get a email
Yeah,
requesting to accept. So you need to go ahead and accept. For you, let's give some internet access as well. Okay, so what did we do now? We created a user. So a user will be also a robot. Okay, so let's go and see what do we have. Is it connected? Yeah, this is connected. So Sudhir, can you please share your screen once?
yeah sure.
So now I'm going into default tenant of Swapna. So Swapna
Okay.
is the manager now, or she is the orchestrator admin. Okay,
So
click.
can I accept
Yeah, yeah,
that?
please. Okay, now, okay, which user is it?
This is my but I can able to see the default. I think
Default
it's
tenant will be same for everyone, I guess. But Wipro DPI, I think, is it yours, Swapna?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
yeah. This is not mine.
Okay, then let's go to default tenant, and also let's go to UiPath Studio. Okay, so now what we will do, we have
I,
added a queue item,
I
right?
yeah.
Okay,
I don't have default.
yeah,
I have
now
only.
no, you can log out and log in again in Studio.
Okay.
Sign out, yes. Sign in again.
Okay.
See, when you're signing in, you need to select Wipro's ID. Sign in, or you can copy directly that particular tenant. Then it will not ask sub options. But yeah, let's wait.
No, I haven't shared.
Yeah. So for that, what we can do is we have the URL, right? Why am I not able to access? Okay, give me the access, please.
Yeah.
So whatever tenant that we have, copy, go back. So earlier we gave cloud.uipod.com, right?
Yes.
Instead of that, let's give it with tenant, whatever tenant that we have. Okay, let's see. So we have something called shared, and let's also go here and let's see default tenant. So if you see, the my workspace is your own workspace inside Swapna's machine or Swapna's orchestrator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can use shade to connect. Okay, all you need to do is, Swapna, can you please create a queue name? Uh, so the queue name should be cal queue.
Cal
This cal queue,
underscore cat.
cal underscore queue. So let's give it to her. Can you send it in the chat so that she can copy?
Yeah. Sure.
So once you create a queue, we will work further. Copy that and give it in the chat.
Can I share my screen?
No need. We trust you. Please go ahead and create. You shared? Okay, fine. Yeah. Add queue. Create a queue. That is in my workspace. If you see, it should be inside shared. Add queue item. Create new queue item. I think the name is wrong. Can you please
Yeah,
check?
it's correct. Yeah, it's correct.
Correct? Okay. So here, just a second, I will give you some information. Name should be the unique name that's there in the code. Unique reference, if we enable unique reference, it means that whenever there is an item that's added, For example, don't enable unique reference. So whenever there is an item that's added, we cannot add duplicate items. For example, if we add 1 plus 2, we cannot add again 1 plus 2 because that's a duplicate value with reference. So we should not, that will not allow and it will throw an error. And auto retry, whenever there is a system exception, it will create a new item. So this is where we can have maximum retry numbers inside the queue. If we give it to 2, then whenever there is system exception, that queue will be queue item will be created again whenever there is an exception. Hit on add. So there, please share your screen. Add. You cannot see the ad. Yeah. Now run this flow. Purnima, are you connected to your machine?
Yes, I'm connected, Vajra.
Okay. Is it done? So can you go back into UI into orchestrator and just refresh so that you can see the queues as well as the values inside it? Yeah, open items. So now you have all the items that's added. Swapna, can you please confirm whether you are able to see the same? Swapna?
Yes, I am also able to see the items in the queue.
So this is the central repository where we are adding all the items, and this is from where we are going to pick up the items. Okay. So
Vajra, I'm not little not clear on the shared part.
mhm.
So the same queue name, both of them added, is it?
Only one. So this is the shared folder that is accessible to both Swapna as well as Sudhira.
So how did we share only for them? We added their email address somewhere.
We
Somewhere
created
something I missed.
a
Remove.
user, right? So what we can do,
Yeah.
add your email ID, orchestrator email ID in the chat. Sudhira, what you can do is go to home.
But then where are I created a queue. Where is my queue and the queue item
That is in a
version?
different tenant altogether.
Okay. So I need to log off and log in again with my tenant, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I want to see my queue. Okay, got it.
Okay. So go back to admin. Go to admin. Yeah, admin and users, accounts and groups. Accounts and groups on the top, second.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's add Purnima's email ID. Purnima, just go ahead and give your email ID.
Purni.work@gmail.com. PURNI dot
PUR.
work dot work at gmail.com.
It's not PO, it's PU.
Yeah, it's PU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Hit on invite.
It's is it correct? Purni.work@gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
I'm not able to see that very clearly. It's a little small, but yeah, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct. No, don't do anything. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, now it's better.
Uh-oh.
Okay, invite users.
Sorry.
Just add again. Yes, add automation anywhere users. Yeah. So again, you can restrict to whatever it's necessary. We are just giving them so that you have the access and you can understand. Right now, let's go ahead and save or cancel.
It's in cancel. Okay.
So the problem that happened was we created an account, but already licenses are already assigned to your accounts. So don't. Okay. Sudhira, why don't you go ahead and change your robot licenses? Click on the robot icon. Robot icon. Okay, let me give it. So
Oh,
here,
robot. Okay.
yeah, this is the robot icon. We can use group allocation so that the group will be allocated by default.
Okay.
Okay. Now here, this is recent. So we are allocating to group. So whatever groups they are added, by default, based on the groups, the licenses will be provided. So we are not giving one user one license. We are giving it to a group, and whoever is available in the group can access it. For example, you got logged out, but Puni got logged in, so license will be automatically assigned to her. So Puni,
So what
did you get
should
an
I
email?
email? Let me check 1 second.
Check with the email.
Yeah, you are invited to join the UiPath Automation Cloud.
Yeah, go ahead and
Sent me. Accept invite I'm giving.
yes, go ahead and give it. So now what we will do, we'll create a performer bot. Okay, so this is a dispatcher bot. Let's go back and let's go to Robot Enterprise Framework. So what I will do is I will just try to increase the font size. Can you bring it into the screen, Puni?
When I said accept invite, it took me to the cloud.
Yeah, sure. I am. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It took me to the cloud, uipath.com.
Yeah. It will take to the cloud and
So
just log in.
how do I check your queue items?
Just log in and check in the shared folder. You will be able to access.
You can log in into the thread and check shared. Please wait.
Okay. Now this can be a performer. So underscore performer. I'm just adding a performer item, nothing else. So a RE framework template will be created by default. Now let's see the use of creating everything in RE framework. Okay.
One down version.
Yeah.
So when we create dispatcher, it will be only in the sequence, not in a RE framework.
No, that's also in RE framework if we create it in RE framework.
Okay. RE framework, I put it new sequence, correct? No?
Yes. So if we divide that sequence, like in the initialization state, if we read and in get transaction, we get one row, and in process, if we add it to queue. So if we do something like that, then it's also an RE framework code.
Okay.
We are dividing the code, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So see the settings that we'll make to make this bot work. In this particular data folder, all we need to give is in the config.
I'll bring it.
Okay. Now here in this config, reactivate. Okay, your orchestrator is your Excel is not activated.
I think it got expired. It is activated.
Can you change this? Yeah. Change. So this is the orchestrator queue name. The only place where we can change the queue name. Okay, give it to your queue underscore Cassie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cal underscore queue. Enter. Save it. Purni, were you able to complete the activation from your end?
I don't know whether I have to use Sudhira's code or whether I have to use my queue.
So now,
And also, I'm not able to see once it's shared, she shared it, I'm not able to see my folders anymore.
no,
Where is
you will
my
not
process
see. You
package
will
and all,
not.
I'm not able to see.
You
Only
will,
hers I'm able to see.
yeah.
So I'm just waiting to wondering what do I do?
This is a different tenant altogether. So you are working on a different organization.
Okay.
Okay. So
So in my performer, I put my queue name, but in dispatcher, also I should put my queue name, na?
so your
I cannot
code
put Sudhira's.
your code will no longer be accessible to you.
Oh,
Okay. Once you log out again and once you log in again with your credentials, then you can access it.
okay.
But for now, everyone are using Swapna's orchestrator only.
Okay, then the dispatcher also have to I don't have to create because Sapna is already created, correct?
Sudhira is already created, and
Sorry,
once
Sudhira has already created.
exactly.
So I just have to put in the config file the queue name and create a dispatcher.
No need.
Dispatcher.
Dispatcher is already created. Why will you create it again?
So where is it created?
In Sudhira's
Yesterday,
machine.
I'm a little not very clear. I think
See,
something I'm missing.
see, all you're worrying about is where is your code. Don't worry about your code.
No, not about my code. What do
Uh,
I do? Like, I mean,
uh,
where? What? Okay, so she has created the queue and inserted the items in the queue, correct?
yes.
So I am accessing that queue. Now I have to I have to do a dispatcher and do some transactions, right? I have to do processing. I
Yeah,
have to remove the items.
but you are not concerned about it. You are a bot now. Whatever information you get, you will process. Until then, you don't do anything.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So should I write any code or?
nothing. You are just a robot, a different robot where we are going to run the code. Nothing, no, nothing else.
Okay, I'll just wait then. I'm not doing any action.
So you are a bot now. You are in idle state, waiting for
Okay,
a job
I
to be
should not
assigned.
change in my config
Nothing.
anything. It doesn't make sense because they are anyway not in my tenant, correct?
Correct.
Okay, fine.
So what I'm doing, since we need to run this bot, or since we need to run this dispatcher, um, disable entry point. I made orchestra. So add to queue is the only file where we have all the information, right? Reading the data, adding it to queue item, right? So I just made a right click over here and created or made it as a main item. So if you set it as a main item, you can see that there is a small icon that's
Great.
coming, green icon. Okay, so that says that this is a new item. But if we want to check it, if you just click on debug, it should run from main, but it will run from add queue item because that's a main item now. So what did I do? Instead of running it from main, I changed it for the bot starting point, from where the bot should start, from which file the bot should start. It always need not be main.xaml. It can be any file. All we need is we need to set which file is it.
But usually we from main we call the dispatcher and performer, right, Vajra?
So dispatcher is a different flow and performer is a different flow. Dispatcher will have a separate main, performer will have a separate main. So this week one, whatever you're seeing, this let's change the project settings and let's make it as dispatcher. Okay. Now this is dispatcher code, only dispatcher code.
Okay.
The main function of this or functionality of this is to add items to orchestrator. It will not process anything. Okay.
But within that you're having add to queue, main and process, is it? Three things I'm seeing.
This came by default. I can delete it if I want.
Okay. Process also came by default.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you create an RE framework, this will come by default.
okay. Oh, right. Fine.
Add to queue is the one which I wrote the code, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we will do, we will publish this code. So if you see here, this is in the shared folder, and publish options. If you see, this is calculator dispatcher. Okay. Can you hit on publish?
Yeah.
Publish. Okay. So let's go with the Purni. Purni, can you please share your screen once?
Yeah.
See, understand, we published it in one place, but using orchestrator, we can access it from anywhere.
Okay.
Since it is a shared one.
Exactly.
Fine.
So
So
now,
we three can access that. I, Purni and
yeah, because that is shared from Swapna's orchestrator. The owner is Swapna. Okay. But
So I cannot access the dispatcher code, only the bot, only the queue items I can access, correct?
you can access everything that is there in the orchestrator.
Okay, because she's published the code, is it?
Yes. Okay. I cannot see the screen.
Oh, you can't. Okay,
It's
one
still
second.
pending. Can you
Sorry.
please share the screen completely?
Yeah.
Still no.
It's saying presenting to me. One second. I don't know why it's. Let me know if you're able to see it. I'm trying.
Yeah, we can see now. Go to
Okay.
orchestrator. Open orchestrator in the browser.
Yeah. You can see, right?
No.
we can able to see your teams.
Oh.
Okay, I think there is delay. Let's go with Swapna. Swapna, can you please share your screen?
One last try, Vajra.
Yeah, go ahead and try. But there is a delay, lot of delay from your end. Let's go with Swapna's.
Okay,
We
fine.
are taking time. Swapna, please go ahead and share. By the way, Shiva, you're silent. Were you able to understand what we are doing?
Yeah.
So we created an orchestrator and gave access to the users so that bots can access whatever information that it has. Okay. Now, Swapna, you need to share the screen. I still have Purnima's screen visible to me.
Yes. I'm sharing my screen.
Okay. Now, if you see, if you just refresh this once, give me the access. We ran it twice, so we will have queue items added twice. Okay. So if you see, scroll down, how many items do we have altogether?
18, 18.
So whenever we execute, new set of queue items will be added up. Okay. These are again same items or repeated items. But what we will do is, let's go to shared folder. Okay. And then click on tenant. Okay. Uh, let's go ahead and refresh. Let's see. Configured robot Sudhira is assigned as a local user. Unattended sessions and user sessions. We should have Sudhira as well as why don't we have Purni's machine? Purni machine should also come in here. Okay. And if you see here, Sudhira is having access as automation developer attended. Okay. So everything you can see who is having what access everything. So how can you run the bot or run that particular process? See, this particular dispatcher code is uploaded by.
So I can download this, is it?
Yeah. Okay.
So I think the package is the web. Okay.
Okay. So these are the packages. So what is the difference between package and a process? So package is the code, process is the execution, or a process is to tell which bot to execute a particular package, and the job is the current execution. Understand it again once. So package is the code. It doesn't know where it should run. Process, we are linking a code to a particular robot. Okay, so a process can run multiple times. Each time the bot runs, it's a job. Okay, so what we'll do, click on folders, robots, okay, packages. Let's go into shade. Uh, okay, click on automations. So this is the new orchestrator. So that's the reason we need to understand the new form of orchestrator. Hit on automations.
Can I click on automation?
Yeah, please.
But I'm not getting a pointer.
You have the access.
One second.
Open default tenant. Default tenant. You're not able to access? Okay, let me do it. So I'm trying to check. I'm not able to access again. Is it stuck for everyone else?
Yes.
Okay, Sudhira, please share your screen then. Let's not waste time. Okay, uh, create add a process. Okay, select the package. Okay,
Sorry, it's a network issue.
no problem. So you already had a package created, then click on next.
Okay, entry point, everything okay.
Everything is okay. So if you see, the entry point is add to queue XML, right? Okay. So here package requirements are nothing. Just hit on next. Okay. So here we will tell what is the name of it. Calculate dispatcher. So this will be shown inside our orchestrator. Okay.
Okay.
So process can't be stopped and automatically start a process. We can start a process automatically. Create. So now the process is created. If you see, there is a start job option and you can select which item to start. So this is production unattended, and if you want to run this process, you cannot run it from orchestrator because this is not an unattended bot. This is an attended
Attended
mission.
one.
Yeah. So you can leave the page, but what you can see is when you open this assistant, can you show me the assistant? So if you see here, this is connected to Wipro. Okay. And let's close the settings. Can you show me the,
Yes.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Now can you see dispatcher
They
is
are
ready for us. Now Swapna should also see this in her robot. Swapna, can you please confirm whether you are able to see this same? Because we have created a process and we don't know where to start. Whichever robots are connected to orchestrator to that particular folder, we can see that particular process in that particular folder. this process is in shared folder, and whoever are connected to shared folder can access this.
I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yes. Refresh, please. Okay. You don't have the access because you are logged into a different machine or different user. It's not Wipro. You need to log out.
I'm able to see calculator, dispatcher, and mine.
Exactly. Because you are, so who is connecting, who is telling that? Purnima, right?
Yeah.
So that is because you are given an access to the shared folder.
Okay.
Okay. Now
So
if,
this calculator dispatcher is the process, correct?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you can
So
continue.
you have basically assigned the XAML
It's
to
not XAML.
one
It's
process.
it's not XAML. It's the process.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the how do you create a processes? When I'm creating a process, I basically select the XAML, whatever is
It's not
published.
XAML. It's a package.
It's package. Okay. The XAML is converted to package because we have
XAML is
published
a
it.
single file. Package is a complete code base. Like
Okay. Okay.
it has all the files. It has multiple files, multiple code
Correct.
files.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So now you can click on continue with Google. Let's see. Now it's Wipro. Now you can see this. Okay. Can you open UiPath Assistant in your machine? UiPath Assistant. Don't you know what is UiPath Assistant?
No.
Okay. So UiPath Assistant is the robot that resides in our machine. Okay, so that will be either in the tray. If you give me the access, I can show you. Give me the access. Okay, that will be there in the tray with this icon. Can you open this? Or you can also open it from UiPath Assistant here. Okay, if you see here, this is not yet connected, and this is to a different orchestrator. If you see, okay, but now we need to log out, sign out, yes, and sign in. And when we say sign in, it will again ask us to log in our local machine. Hit on sign in. Okay. So all you need is you need to have a green icon. Okay. Now this is connected to Wipro Orchestrator, Wipro tenant. So as soon as you get it connected, you can see all the processes that are available. Okay. Swapna, did you understand or not? You need to unmute
Can
Swapna.
you do, can you do that?
Yes, I understood little bit, but I need to go through once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check with the recording. So, Sudhira, let's go ahead and complete the performer process.
Yeah, sure. The last bit, UiPath Assistant, where do I go and add it? Just,
Check in UiPath Assistant. Give me the access. I will show you. So, by default, if you connect UiPath Studio, Assistant will also be connected. But if you don't have UiPath Assistant connected, open UiPath Assistant from start.
I've opened it.
Yeah, here you can see preferences. And in the preferences, you can see which item you are or which tenant you are connected to. Can you bring it up in the screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You want me to share my screen, is it?
No, 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 don't share. So here in
Okay.
this orchestrator, you can see this is the URL that it's connected to.
So if I
One
want
second,
to
one
change,
second.
I can.
One sec.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
When I'm changing the screen, I'm missing here because I'm also trying parallelly. Okay. How did you come to the screen preference? Okay, preferences I came. I
Yeah.
clicked on that small icon.
Yes. And then orchestrator settings. There is settings. Just check in the left pane. On the left pane, there are settings.
Okay.
Sudhira, can you bring that screen to
Okay. Yeah.
this?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, here in the orchestrator settings, you can
Oh,
see
okay.
the values.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, I think you're
So
juggling
if I
around. I think just a second, Puni. I think you're juggling around between different screens. You're coming back and seeing the video, going
Yeah,
back.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm also trying parallelly. Yeah, it's saying connected and licensed.
yeah. So what you can do? Let's complete the flow. Uh, do it because you will have the recording.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So we created a dispatcher process. Now let's go ahead and create a performer process as well. So performer process, we have already started it, right? We created a new RE framework with performer.
perform.
And the only thing that we have changed is in the config, we changed the queue name. So this is the performer. Let's go ahead and add it. We have 3 more minutes. See the beauty of RE framework. I can complete this project in 3 minutes. All I need is go to process, open placeholder. Here I can add queue item or so check again with the main what is the exact scenario. In the initialization, it will start with calculator if we add the code. Get transaction data will get one item. Process transaction will actually complete the process or whatever calculations we want to do, we can do it here. So inside this process, there is a workflow for process.xml. So this has one argument, two arguments, transaction item. Whatever transaction item we are getting from get transaction data, we are sending it as in argument. Okay, so don't worry too much because next week you are going to do it completely for a different process, because if you do it for a different process, then you will be doing it from scratch rather than completing on this. All I want from here is um, log message. So how can I access items or values from the queue? See, go back to queues and view transactions. Each and every item will have a dictionary of values, view details. So Shiva, can you tell me how can I access 4 from here? Okay. So what you can do is here in this, I want to access some value, nothing else. So log level for now, if we don't add anything, that will be info by default. If you want, you can change it. But here what I can do is, see, we will add in transaction item. So what is in transaction item here? One item that will be executed at a time. So out of all the queue items, one item will be picked up dot specific content. Okay, so this specific content will give these values. Specific data, whatever the values that are there in specific data, we can have it. But if you see, how can we get the values? Using their key values 1, 2, and 3. So what specific content of 1 will give me? What will this give me?
4.
That will give me empty value.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm just concatenating this one. So this will give me a plus. So if you want to add any code to the new line, just add underscore next to it. And let's go ahead and add plus underscore. Okay, so instead of 1 every time, I will add 2 and I will add 3 as well here. So 1, 2 and 3 I'm concatenating and I'm sending it as a log message. Did you get it now? Or you didn't get anything?
Yeah.
All we are trying to do is we are trying to add log message, nothing else.
Show
Okay.
the items, few items in the
Yes.
log message.
So other than that, what we can do to make it more easier to understand, I will add a message box. So it gives out a pop-up whenever there is a result. So instead of log message, to have a visual representation for us, all I'm doing is I'm giving a message box. So let's go ahead and keep a breakpoint here. So what are the changes that we made for RE framework for performer? Shiva, can you tell? Shiva?
Yeah,
So what are the changes that we made for this code?
uh, we added message box activity instead of log.
Yes. Other than that, what else did we change?
We called the queue
We,
item.
we updated the queue name inside config.
Yeah,
In the config sheet, if you see, the queue name will be something like, bring the Excel, please. Yeah. So it's calculator underscore queue. So this is the queue name that we are using, right? Now
yeah.
let's see. Other than this, I haven't written any code.
You gave the arguments, no?
There is no need to give any arguments because arguments are already there.
No, I mean, sorry. You wrote the code in the message box. Transaction
Yes,
item of.
yes. Transaction item dot specific content of 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's debug the flow completely. So the complete process is completed. So why organizations are using RE framework is all you need to check is you need to check what is the execution that you need to do. Other than that, code is already ready. Exceptions are available to handle itself. Even if there is a business rule exception, it can be handled. All you need is customization of the values, nothing else. Okay, we have value here. Step into. Did you have a message box? So what is the value?
20.
Why do we have 24?
I think it's adding here plus, right?
No. It's not
No?
adding. So if you open, so is this the one? Orchestrator?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see in the queues, if you go back to queues, shared, in the queues, okay, we have a queue item. Where is this again? This is again power ZHP.
I think it's okay.
Open
I
Chrome.
think multiple times we added the queue.
Yeah, that's fine. Open in Chrome, please.
Oh, you close.
Yeah,
Okay.
somehow I closed.
Oh, you close.
Open in Chrome. So let me take only 4 more minutes. Other than that, I don't need any extra time. Again, you are logging into Power VG. Don't do that. Okay, that's the problem that we are facing. Sign out. So if you want, you can just go ahead and type in, wait, cloud.uipath.com. Okay, and then don't add these values, tenant values. Then it will ask you where should it log in. Continue. So yeah, this is the one, right?
Yeah.
Continue. Focus. See, now it's asking you which one should you log in. My bad. So let's go ahead and add. What is the Wipro WIPRO? What is it? Okay. Okay, here it is. So sign out. Continue. Microsoft. Okay. Now if you go to orchestrator, that's in default tenant. In the queues, see calculate the queue, view transactions. Here instead of new, you can filter out status with in progress. See. Okay, if you see view details, we have 2 items, 1 and 3. That's the reason we have 24. If you click on OK, I did not again, let's stick. Okay, I did not convert it into an integer. No, not like that. It's not next time, it's just to our understanding, we will just add to the inline. But if you see details, view details again, this is in progress. Let's hit on close. Let's hit on refresh. Let's see. In progress or status. There should be successful item. No. Okay, I think that is in the debug state. Yeah, so let's remove all the breakpoints. Show breakpoint panel. So let's remove all the breakpoints and let's continue. So before doing a continue, what I will do is I will stop this process. So now when I stop this process without setting the transaction status, what it will become after 24 hours? Correct. So now we are actually moving it to performer to orchestrator. So what I want all of you to do is run this process in your own machines. Okay, dependent. I can go to packages. If package is done in shade folder, I can go to automations and add a new process. So can you create a performer process now? So hit on next. Hit on next. Yes, give a name. Add it to performer. Okay, create. Now immediately everyone can see this process in your own assistants. Can you please confirm whether you are able to see that? So you are also open your assistant.
Yeah.
Stop now. Your assistant, please confirm. Refresh. Okay, now run this process. Everyone run this process. Everyone can run. Yes, you can. Okay. You got a message box. Everyone gets message boxes, but none of your message boxes will be same because everyone are executing their own items. Let's wait. Let's check that. If you see the jobs, there are 2 items that are executing. One item is with Sudhira, second item is with Swapna. Rajni, just a second. Puni, can you please start the process?
Actually, I'm not able to. I'm not connected to assistant, so I will come back.
Why you're not able to connect?
I mean,
What is the status of assistant for you?
I told you something that I had already created. I'm able to see.
Log out and log in again with your email ID. So you still have a message boxes, so they are able to click on OK. Meanwhile, Puni, please share screen. The others will execute. So let's go with your screen. Puni, you need to change your product.
I'm connected to Oxford. Actually, I'm not in town, so it's not my regular connection. Sorry for that.
Okay, so other step now we can continue. So let's continue. Please share screen.
Yeah.
But for us, since this is your question, you can also monitor the site. Okay, now let's go with the queues and let's see what do we. Yeah, you still continuously get it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's done for you. Let's see. Go to queues.
Okay.
Go to, so there are 17 items remaining. Okay, so what we will do is we will update the code. Okay, so go back to the code performer. So instead of message box, add a log message. Then you will not see the message box pop-ups.
I changed my hotspot. I mean, we changed my connection, so hopefully I should be able to.
Don't delete it. Just copy the text first.
Yeah.
Remove the message box. Delete. Yeah. Okay. Publish it again. So whenever you make a change, you need to publish it. Okay. But do you need to publish in each and every machine now? Publish. We have orchestrator, right? Go to orchestrator. Go to process. Packages. Tenant. It will be there in tenant on the top. Yeah. And then see, there is dispatcher. Open. Click on the three dots. No. Oh, yeah. Correct. New versions. There's a new version inactive. So you can select and make active. 1.2. So there is no active state. So let's go to automations and let's change out there. Automations, it will be there inside shade folder. Automations. So there is an upgrade option.
Yeah.
Okay, select an item and you'll find an update option.
Update latest version.
Correct. So in live projects, we will do the same thing. But instead of connecting directly to the orchestrator, we will publish it manually to a different package, or we'll publish it to a local machine and then we'll move the package. We have an option to update, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's done. Now if you see in the assistant, the process will automatically be updated and it will ask you to install the latest item. Open assistant. You have assistant.
Okay.
So can you see everything installed?
Yeah.
So this means that process is updated and it's asking you to take a new version of it. Click on.
Okay.
So I want Swapna also to run it at the same time because the bot will run very fast. Okay, start.
Check it out.
Yes, so start it. Go to queues. Okay, refresh. Refresh. Let's see. Again. Again. Open the items. Open items. Okay, see. All the items are completed in which robot name?
So yeah.
Yeah, can you go to the next page? Let's see if Swapna has any data.
Yeah. So
Swapna had only one item.
and I have started to start choose an activity to change my
An assistant, Swapna.
Okay, this is my assistant.
Yeah.
Can I execute one?
From the already executing. Just start play button. Look at what you need to do. All done. The problem that you face is we stop or we close the message box. We don't have the message box now, but there are no more queue items as well. Okay, so meanwhile, what you can do is, Surya, run the dispatch bot from your machine and Swapna will run performance. Okay, please confirm as the dispatch is completed. Swapna, open orchestrator.
Yeah, I made any changes to publish.
No need to option it. Let's go ahead and install it. Go to queues and open the items. View transactions. So how many new items are there? There are new items. Now can you start the process? Start performance from your machine. Refresh. So all the items are getting executed under your name. So if you want, you can open one item, click on Xerox, view details, history.
And the 26 items
Yes.
created to you.
Yes. It's created in progress by you and finally successful by your machine.
Okay.
Okay. Each and every transaction will have all these details. Okay. So were you able to understand today's process? Because this is important, but the reason I have taken extra time, I have taken enough time so that I can go slow. Because from next week you should be doing all these things. I'm not explaining.
I was able to do this for some reason. The assistant was
Do one thing, so Purnima, go ahead and watch the recording. I'm right away publishing that in YouTube so that you can start doing it.